What's up everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today in this video, I'm going to show you how to retrieve the Wi-Fi passwords using Python. If you're on Windows, you know where you can see the Wi-Fi connections. Currently, I have 3 Wi-Fi connections, but I have connected to this one. And let's say somehow I forgot the password of this connected Wi-Fi connection and I want to know what the password is. So if you're on Windows, it's pretty simple. You go to the command line and you type in the following commands: net sh wlan show profiles. So this command will give you all the Wi-Fi profiles, or you can say the Wi-Fi connections that you have previously connected with. Right now, I want to know the Wi-Fi password of this Wi-Fi connection, which is Umar. And in order to do that, I'll write one more command, which is net sh wlan show profile, and the name of the profile, which is Umar, and I'll also say key is equal to clear. By writing key is equal to clear, we will be able to see the password of the Wi-Fi profile. If I hit enter, and down here where you see key content, we have the password of the Wi-Fi profile. So this is how easily you can get to know the passwords of the Wi-Fi connections that were previously connected with a computer. Now, let's say you want to do the same process using Python. You want to retrieve the password and then later on use it in somewhere else in your script. So in order to do that, let's come to the Visual Studio Code. You can see I have opened up a file. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to import the sub process. So I'll say import sub process, and then I'll define a variable called meta_data. You can name it anything. I'm naming it this. And then what we are going to do is we are going to say sub process dot check_output, and this check_output will take one argument that's going to be a list, and that list is going to contain our command in this format: net sh wlan show profiles. So this is the first command which will give us all the Wi-Fi profiles, and let's print it out first and see what we are getting: meta_data. So if I run the code, you can see we are getting a byte. We are getting the output in the form of bytes. Let me show you that the type of this output is bytes. If I run the code, you can see it's telling us that the output is in the form of bytes. So now in order to convert the bytes into, let's say, string, we can simply say dot decode, and we want to decode it in UTF-8 format. And if I run it again, you can see now the output is in the string format. So now let's get rid of it and store it in a different variable. Let's name that data. Let's get rid of these 2 parentheses as well. So now if I print the data, let's see what we are getting. So you can see now we have our output in this format. Now what we can do is we can split this output wherever we are getting the new line. That's because, see, we are getting the names of our Wi-Fi profiles, but we are also getting all this thing along with our output that we don't want. We only want to retrieve this part and this part from this text. So in order to do that, I'll come here and I'll say data is equal to data dot split, and I want to split it by new line. So if I print data now, I should get a list of all the lines that were in this output. So if I run the code, you can see we are getting everything, and we are also getting some /r's as well. I don't know why. So let's carry on. Let's now define a list names, and we are going to set it equal to an empty list, and then we are going to run a for loop. So for line in data. So we have all the lines in this data as a list. So now we will loop through all those one by one. So for line in data, what we are trying to search is that, let's come here first. You can see that wherever we have the name of the Wi-Fi profile, we have this thing along with it. So in order to get the lines where we are having the name of the Wi-Fi profile, we can search for this all profile because it's similar in every profile name. So we'll come here and I'll say for line in data, if then come here and copy this thing, all user profile and something like this is in line, then simply print it out. Let's see if this works. Print line. So if I run the code, now you can see we have narrowed down all of this crappy text to this neat looking text. And now all we need to do is to get rid of this part and retrieve the name of the Wi-Fi profile. And it's very easy. We can come down here and say name is equal to line dot split. We want to split it by the colon, because if we split by the colon, we will get this part and we will get this part. Then we will select the second element and we are good to go. So I'll select the second element. So if we print the names now, print the name now and run the code, now you can see we are getting all the names. Now what we can do is here we can say names dot append. Remember we created an empty list of names. Now we will append each name to that list. So if we come down here now and print that names list, let's see if we get all the Wi-Fi profiles. We did get all the Wi-Fi profiles, but we are also getting this extra white space and this these characters. So we need to take care of them as well. So we can simply say select from the second character to the -1. So if I run the code, you can see now we are getting only the name of the Wi-Fi profile, and that's what we wanted to do. So we have done the first part of this video successfully. Now we need to move to the second part. But before doing that, let's just define a function def get underscore Wi-Fi underscore profiles, and we will move all of this code inside this function. And finally, we will return names, because that's what we want to do. And after that, we'll come down here. Now that we have gotten all the Wi-Fi profiles, we need to retrieve the password of every Wi-Fi profile. And to do so, we need to run that second command that I showed you in the beginning of the video, which is this one, show profile, and then the name of the profile and key is equal to clear. Now to do that, we first need to loop through all the Wi-Fi profiles. So I'll say for name in get underscore Wi-Fi profiles, and inside here we will do the same thing again, but this time this command is going to change. So I have already written that somewhere. Let me just grab that from here and paste it down here. So what I'm doing here is I'm defining the metadata again and running the command. And for because we are looping through all the names, that's why I have written name here, not a specific name. Let's say Umar. I'm generally writing the name of the variable here. After that, we decode the bytes to string, and then we are splitting the data by new line and creating an empty list names. And then we can come here and run a for loop again. Say for line in data, and then what we want to do is we will say if key content in line. All right, actually let's not first do this. Let's first print the line and see what we get. Print line, that way you will get to know what I'm trying to do. If I run the code, you can see we are getting the same data that we got here after running that command. And now in order to retrieve the password, we need to search for this key content inside all this text. So for that, we will do the same thing as we did up here. We will say if key content in line, print line. Let's see what we get now. As you can see, we are getting the password of both the Wi-Fi profiles, because on my computer only 2 Wi-Fi profiles have been connected. So we now need to get rid of this part and only keep this part, which is the password. So in order to do that, we'll come here and say password equals to line dot split, and we want to split by semicolon, and we want the first element. Finally, we can come down here and print name comma semicolon comma, let's give some spaces, password. And if we run the code now, you can see now we have the name and then the password. So we have successfully retrieved the password of every single Wi-Fi connections that were previously connected with our computer. So now you can take this data, which is the name of the Wi-Fi profile and its password, and do whatever you want to do with it. I simply just printed them out using this print statement. You can do whatever you want to do with it. So I hope you learned something new from this video. video. I hope this video was helpful. If it was so, please subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. It helps me a lot. It keeps me motivated for creating videos like this. So I'll see you in the next one. Till then, peace out.